Hi, Chip and Joni.
Hello.
Hello.
It's nice to see you. Um, I've been following your journey in France by reading your recently published book, French Bliss. And now our paths have crossed when you bought a share in Maison Bleue. I was hoping you could take a few minutes to tell me what you think after your first visit.
Absolutely.
Sure. First of all, last summer was your first visit to the house. How did that feel?
Well, and it was literally our first visit because we bought the place during the pandemic when travel wasn't possible. So it was the first time we had set foot in the house or the village, and it felt wonderful. In a word, it was wonderful.
Very exciting. Yes.
Cool. Well, was it like anything like you expected?
Yes and no. We had seen a lot of pictures of the house, and it was we already knew that we were going to love it, but it was actually more than we expected. The rooms seemed larger in person than we thought they would be from the pictures, and it was really just a very exciting time for us to get there and see it in person.
Very cool. Well, how did you spend your time once you unpacked your suitcases?
Well, since it was our first visit to this village, we spent some time exploring the village and getting to know it, getting to know the restaurants in the area. Um, our village is near the Canal du Midi, so we spent some time exploring the canal, walking along it, eating along it, and just exploring some of the area villages. We also joined a group of people who like to go walking and hiking 2 or 3 times a week. Got to know some people that way, and got to know the countryside a little better.
Restaurants and vineyards, especially.
Restaurants and vineyards. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite vineyard yet?
No, I wouldn't say a favorite vineyard. I wouldn't even say a favorite restaurant at this point. There's just so many, and they're just such beautiful locales. Some of them out in the country or right on the canal. It was just really fun to explore around and visit them.
Very cool. I'm going to take a minute to give you a tip about a restaurant to try during your next trip.
Okay.
It's a little restaurant that has no address. It's called Le Pourquoi Pas, the Why Not, and it's right on board the Canal du Midi. So if you're floating down the canal, you can stop and eat at this restaurant, and you'll see like the smallest of signs with an arrow pointing off into a field, basically. I know that will direct you toward Le Pourquoi Pas. And anyway, it's loads of fun.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, exactly. So, were there any surprises at your new house?
Yeah, we did have one surprise. It was not maybe the best surprise, but on our second or third morning there, we opened the refrigerator and we realized that it was not working anymore, which was much to our chagrin. So I tried a bunch of things in the manual and tried unplugging it and replugging it and seeing if it would work. And sadly, the refrigerator had died at that point in time. So, but this was one of the things that really brought home to us what a great opportunity a fractional share like this was, because we just called the house manager, which is one of the other owners, and one of the person in town who's kind of like the overseer of what goes on in the house when we're not around. They flew into action, and within a couple of days, we had a new refrigerator in there that had already been budgeted for. So that was exciting.
It really, our first impulse, I think, was to feel panicked in this new environment.
Right.
But it really showed us that, at least for us, this partnership with the other owners really supported us, helped us every step of the way. We weren't alone.
Right.
No, it was a great learning experience.
Very cool. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like it met all of your expectations.
Oh, absolutely. And as Chip said, larger than we anticipated. Absolutely, it met our expectations. We love the village. We love that it's not really a famous tourist area,
Uh-huh.
but it's people living their lives. It's quiet at night. It ticked all the boxes for
Yeah.
us.
And I
And
think another thing that we really enjoyed about it and surprised us a little bit was the number of English speaking people that either lived there full time or part time. We'd just be walking down a little street and all of a sudden you just hear British being spoken in a house out the window or whatever. It's just like, yeah, it was just kind of a interesting addition to the experience. So
very cool. And when is your next trip over there?
In April.
April and May. Yep.
Oh my gosh, that is going to be a lot of fun. I guess
Yeah,
you know that I'm planning to be over there myself in April
that's
and
right.
staying with someone in a house that's only 5 kilometers from Caronte.
That's great. We have to meet in person then. Have a
Oh,
drink.
yeah, absolutely. That will be really, really wonderful. Okay, well, merci beaucoup. I'm so happy that you've told me about your experiences. And à bientôt in France.
A
Okay.
bientôt, Ginny.
Yes.